What did they tell you when you told them at the beginning of your journey, I want to pursue teaching?
In our society, nobody will encourage you to do teaching. Especially when you got amazing result in KCSE.
Yeah.
And then I received a call from my principal. He told me that because of the recent attacks in Mandera, so many local teachers have run away and we need teachers to help. So if you are available, why don't you just come to school? Since you have not started university yet, hujasaidia shule kufundisha physics na chemistry. When we talk about opportunities and fields, we were not, taken that much seriously.
What about now?
Now, we can see that the number of enrollment of girls is even more than boys.
Yeah.
That is what we are fighting for.
So you want that?
We want women generally to be given equal priority, equal power, equal opportunities to the other counterparts. The aim is not to outperform the other gender.
Do you think that there are some students who still study under tree?
We still have that problem.
Do you believe our leaders from Northern Frontier or North Kenya, do you believe they are not doing enough to support the education system in these counties?
Okay, there is this recent statement by Rigathi Gachagua.
Yeah, the former deputy president.
Yes, he implies that since devolution, Northeastern has received more than 1 trillion shillings.
Yeah.
And there is a question, where did that fund go? Where did the money go? Is our priority building mansions? Are we building offices and buying modern equipment, and there are schools that the students are learning outside under a tree? If we learn and be serious on who are we electing, so many things can change.
This is the second episode of 2026. We want to thank you for your full support, your resilience into listening to us. And today we brought you an amazing guest, a brilliant lady by the name Nasra Mohammed. We'll give her a chance to introduce herself to the audience. And after that, we will have a candid conversation on teaching, general life, and the situation of our education in northern part of Kenya. Nasra, welcome.
My name is Nasra Mohammed Isaac. I am a lecturer at Garissa University, but many people know me from Salama Girls. I've been teaching there for almost 6 years.
Wow, 6 good years.
6 good years.
Yes.
But alhamdulillah, now I've been able to move to the next step in my life, which is the university level.
Yeah.
So I have been a teacher. I've been in the education field for a long time. And alhamdulillah, it's a good thing to say that I'm an educator, someone who understands what is going on in the education field. Yes.
And where did you get this idea of teaching? Where did it start? Who inspired you to be a teacher?
Okay, as they say, teaching is a calling.
Yes.
It is not an easy field which can be easily accessed by everyone. Yeah. So I realized that I am meant to be a teacher in my early years when I was a student. I've been saying that I have very easy ways with children. I can understand both genders better. And when it comes to teaching, I find that my methods of teaching usually go flawless without actually putting a lot of effort into it. And actually, I didn't realize that. My friends and my family were the ones who realized that teaching is inside me. And when we talk about teaching, it doesn't mean that only academics and the lectures. We talk about how better you understand people. Yeah. You can understand the problems they're going through. People can come to you and confide into you and tell you all the problems they're going through.
Yeah.
And effortlessly, they find comfort. They find ease when they try to take down the burdens that they have there on their shoulders. So that's when I realized this is my field. It's a calling, and I was called there.
Wow, that is nice of you. What did your friends, maybe family members, maybe the people, acquaintances, what did they tell you when you told them at the beginning of your journey, I want to pursue teaching? Did they encourage you, or they were like, no, why this?
Actually, in our society, nobody will encourage you to do teaching. Especially when you got amazing result in KCSE.
Yeah.
Even myself, I never sat somewhere and think that one day I will stand in a classroom of 50 students and teach. I never thought about that.
Yes.
So when we are done with KCPE, my dream was to be an engineer, just like any other person. I never liked to do medicine. There was no that being a doctor in my blood. I always wanted to be an engineer. But the society usually thinks engineering is for the men. Because once you say I'm an engineer,
male-dominated career.
Yeah, they will think that you are dreaming of, kutengeneza electricity, kutengeneza steam, unapanda mti. That's what they think. So in fact, I told my mother that one day when I'm done with high school, inshallah, I will pursue a course in engineering. And she was like, no, think of something else. You can be a doctor. We need a doctor in our family. We don't have a doctor. Think of something else. So there was one day we had, just to give you a little story, we were doing a physical experiment with our teacher. And then we were taught on how to connect and disconnect devices. And I went back home that day and realized that we had a blender at home that was not working. And then I told Mom, since you want to throw this blender, let me just do some experiments on it. I remember the previous day we had practical lessons with our teacher on how to.
Which year was that?
That was in 2017. I was in Form 3.
Yeah, recent.
Yes. So I told my mom, since you want to throw this thing, let me just go and conduct experiments on it. And then she was like, whatever, just take it. I took it. It was destroyed. It was just about to be thrown away. I disarranged, and then I brought all the elements together. I connected wires, and it worked. I went there and told my mom, I was like, Mom, the blender is working. And then to my disbelief, she was not that much, surprised. Because, okay, now you know how to, repair a blender, so what? This is not going to be your career. Maybe it can be a hobby, but this is not a career.
Yes.
And then I finished KCSE, and I was like, now, since I already passed, I think I can go into the field that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
But however, my background could not be that. I could not afford engineering class and all that things. So my uncle recommended that I start teaching. And one of my friends came to me and told me, do you remember those days we were in Form 4? You used to teach us chemistry. And even all those teachers tried to teach us and we could not understand, but the whole classroom could understand from you. And I was like, yeah, it's true. And then another person came and she was like, I came from a different class. We never knew each other. I came to you, you taught me vectors, you taught me so well. It was just flowing. Do you remember that? I was like, yes, I remember. Oh, maybe we should try to change your mind a bit and look into this teaching field.
Yeah.
What if you like it? At that moment, I was not thinking about teaching not being, that it doesn't pay that well. That was not in my mind. What is in my mind was, maybe let me just try to venture into this career. And then it came to 2018, April 28th. That was a Monday. And then I received a call from my principal. He told me that because of the recent attacks in Mandera, so many local teachers have run away, and we need teachers to help. So if you are available, why don't you just come to school, since you have not started university yet, kuja saidia shule kufundisha physics na chemistry.
To Mandera?
No, because of the attack in Mandera, so many teachers, even the ones in Garissa, they just left. And then I was like, it's testing. I'm going to help the school.
The principal of your former school?
Yes, exactly. And then I went back to school. And
is he still the same guy I used to remember during Ado?
Yeah, Ado.
Still up to now?
He was the one who looked at me and said, I see potential in this young lady. You can just try to imagine a person who just finished KCSE some months back, was a student. How can you trust that person to come and handle your kids? It means that you really have trust in that person.
Yeah, surely.
He really trusted me to do that, actually. And then I was assigned a classroom that all the teachers ran away from it. A very disappointing class, very notorious kids. You know, low performance class. That was the first class that I was giving. I didn't know that. I attended the classroom, the lesson. It went very well. And I was scared, first of all, before I attended the lesson, because I was like, what if this field is not mine? I don't have the experience. And what if I disappoint my principal? What if I disappoint these learners? But the lesson went quite well. And I came back. Immediately I left the classroom, 10 students came after me, asking me, Madam, why don't you try to teach us tuition? Like, we have been neglected by all those teachers. We are now seeing hope in you. Remember, that was my first lesson. And to me, it was just like, go and test this thing and see out. I didn't even put all my effort into it. And they're like, well, Madam, sijaribu kutufundisha tuition. We are stuck. We have been neglected since Form 1 and no teacher wants us because we are notorious. I was like, yeah, I can think about it. Let me just see. It was never part of my plan. I went back to the staff room, everyone was like, how did the class go? And it was like, it was so good. And they were like, really? No teacher likes that class. Everyone runs away from it. So what makes you that? I was like, I don't know. It just came. I went, I taught, and then I came back. And that's the moment I realized that maybe instead of testing and instead of helping the school, I should actually go inside.
Go all in.
Yes. And 6 years later, we are still there.
Let me just mix the questions because I want to extract some analogy from whatever you are saying now. And in general life, because now we have experienced life. I finished high school a long time ago. I'm done with my universities. See, that notorious class which you are saying,
Yeah.
you know, nowadays, most, like, the percentage of those people who are not good in school, they are good in life. I mean, they are doing a lot of...
Exactly.
And those bright students, nowadays...
Are the ones who depend on the ones who are notorious and the ones who are failing in class.
Yeah, we cannot say depend, but generally, the other part which were not keen with the school, they are performing well than the other part they were very brilliant in school.
Yeah.
So what comment do you have? What view do you have about that? And what makes that thing happen afterwards?
Okay, the thing is, the problem is from the society.
Yeah.
It is the one that said that kids who fail, kids who are slow, kids who are not attentive in school will not have a life later. Not realizing that actually success doesn't come from academics. Success comes from how you handle life. That academic qualification that we have, the papers that we have, is only helping us to push through life, but it is not life itself. So these kids who are notorious, the way we are saying, those who are bringing troubles in classroom, the thing is, if they find someone to channel that energy they have into something meaningful, then these are the people who will understand how life actually works. Yeah. Instead of focusing all your energy into books and forgetting the normal daily lives that people go through. And then baadaye unaingia life and then you find that things on the grounds are different. You need someone who's creative, someone who can talk. You never talked when you were in school.
So you're saying those students who are never serious with studies, they have this mentality that outside it's just me, I will depend on me, I won't depend on papers and any qualification. If I fail outside, then it is me. And then they take upon the initiative to foster their life. You're saying so?
Yes.
Okay. How did I know you teach high school and other things, but I know you have a bit clue about CBC and those things. How did CBC change the direction of our education? Because as we never used to get this practical aspect of studies, we normally concentrated on theory.
Yes.
Has CBC done anything?
The 844 system, the previous 844 system, there was a reason why it was cancelled.
Yes.
And the reason is because the learners were only taught theories.
Yes.
And lessons were 99% lecture. This student does not know the capacity and the capabilities they have, because they are depending on everything to come from the teacher. CBC focuses on learner-centered approaches. What is this student good in? We just don't want teachers and educators in the classroom. We also want singers. We want artists. We want videographers. We want technocrats. Yeah. Once the kid sees that I can build a model that can work, then that is where the kid is strong. Yeah. And like a teacher coming to school and doing lectures and emphasizing that this learner should be good in mathematics, and maybe that kid is not even meant to be into science fields. We want to be artist. This person wants to draw. This person wants to become a singer. This is a musician. You can't tell someone who has a passion in music to be good in maths.
Or sports.
Exactly. So CBC is, if we had enough resource allocation, that would have been the best, path in which education is taking.
So you say it should have been started
earlier, long time ago. Yes, because we are the ones who are dealing with the children at school. Yeah, we see that once you leave the kids to do things on their own, they will learn. So first of all, they will learn what teamwork is.
Yeah.
Later, when they are released into real life, they will know that I need to collaborate with this person for me to reach my dreams. Yeah. They will learn what teamwork and collaboration is. They will know what capacity is inside them. And they will want to actually grow it. And CBC also is emphasizing on inclusion, remember. Meaning that a student will not move to the other level unless they have mastered that skill. Previously, the 844 system, mtoto pana iya anasonga mbele. Yeah. A student does not know how to solve a simple algebraic equation, na ako form 4. A student does not know how to conduct a very simple chemistry practical, na anafanya KCSE soon. CBC focuses on skills, mastering of skills, not the mastering of content. Yeah. So once you have included all the students, the physically disabled students, the ones who are highly talented, the moderate and average students, they have their own pathway to learn. And before they go to the next step, they have to master that skill at that level first. So yes, it is one of the best ways in which we are transforming our educational system.
That is, you have put it so well. Let's go back to your university. Which university did you go?
Garissa University.
Garissa University. So you started also going to university locally.
Yes.
What made you go to Garissa University? Because there's these stereotypes of Garissa University.
Yeah.
Attacks happened like 4 years ago before, 5-6 years ago before you joined. And the name has challenges.
Actually,
how did that affect you?
The reason why I went to Garissa University is more of personal reasons, because most of the Somali communities and parents, they believe that a girl should not be pursuing her career outside where they live. And unfortunately, my parents are also like that. Though my mom, she really believes in me, but again, she's like, you are too fragile for me to just release you. If I was trained since I was young for me to go and fight battles on my own, I would have been a very independent place currently. But my mom was like, you studied with me since primary, secondary, and now I can't just release you to the world. It's very harsh and it's very dangerous.
Actually,
I want you to be next to me.
Actually, it is.
It is. It is very true. But again, we should be believing in our children, because challenges are outside. They're there. If we do not take care of those challenges and fight them when we are young, when are we going to do that? I am currently old enough, but still I can't live alone. Why? Because I was not trained to do that. Yeah. So that was my reason why I studied in Garissa University. There was an attack in 2015 years, but it has, you remember I'm a local person. So it has not affected me in any way, but it is even growing currently, and most of the learners are coming from outside. Yes. When I was learning, in my first few years doing my degree, I was the only Somali girl in my classroom learning science. I was a school-based student. In regular classes, there were several Somali girls, but in my classroom when I was doing school-based, from first year to third year, I was the only Somali girl doing science, math and chemistry. And sometimes someone will come to me and tell me like, are you studying sciences? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, no, you're not Somali. Because Somali girls being into STEM field was very rare. Currently, we have seen a lot of enrollment of young Somali ladies into education, which really makes me very happy.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons is free scholarship. Like the MP of Wajir South, during my time, he gave students 100% scholarship to study education. And it was after that I started seeing so many girls from Wajir, Mandera, Garissa coming to Garissa University and studying education.
That is Muhammad Ado.
Yes. So that was my reasons going to Garissa University. Yeah.
Since you started teaching classes in Salama,
yes.
What is that thing which has stuck with you, that you feel you have changed in someone, or you have changed in that particular school? What is that thing that when you remember, you reminisce about it and you feel proud inside?
Exactly. A lot. So many things.
Give us maybe 3 to 2 examples.
Actually, my journey in Musalama girls is very sensitive and touches me so well.
Yeah.
Because everyone has a purpose in life.
Yeah, sure.
I came to realize that actually very soon.
Yeah.
You come to realize that you were actually meant for a certain job. Let's say that. Yeah. And my efforts that I have done in Musalama has really bear a lot of fruits. When I was going to Musalama, the learners who were actually like present it was like back in 2017, they totally disliked maths. Totally. Yeah, I remember I told you I was teaching a class in which the performance was very low. You could find that the mean grade was E. Yeah, E, not even a D minus.
For that particular class?
For that particular class. And so many other classes. That was not the only one. So many other classes. Yeah? And that is just neglect. It's not like our girls don't have brains to learn mathematics and sciences. The girls have been neglected. And the society has put that into our brains that we don't have that brain capacity to capture complex subjects like mathematics. And that's what I came to know. Because once you give the students all the attention that they need, and you trust in them, and you take them slowly, you will see that they started flocking into the staff room. Mtu anafanya swali moja anakimbia, madam nimefanya, look at how I did. You give them a tick, right, excellent. And they're like, oh, this thing is not actually that hard. I grew up knowing that students are not into mathematics, but once I saw that actually it's not that hard because I passed, and inamaanisha si ngumu. So I went with that mentality to my students. Like if I didn't struggle that much in mathematics and I could pass, then you also, nobody was born perfect. We all started from somewhere. We started from down below, from the introduction, from the simple concept to kenda juu kidogo. So I went there as a source of confidence to my learners. I will start explaining a point very easily, and then I make sure that almost the whole class has captured my content. And then I move to slowly until I go to the complex parts of the subjects. Yeah. Remember, the learners are looking at you. If you tell them this subject is hard, then it will be hard for them because they will listen to you. Yeah. Just go outside and ask people, and ask the students or anybody who is now in a different career. Tell them, what subject did you pass? And then when they tell you the answer, ask them, why did you pass in that? They will tell you it's because of my teacher. Have you passed in mathematics? No, I failed. Why? Because my teacher was careless, never believed in me, always told us that your life is as simple as
that's why they have this famous phrase whereby you find it in all memes.
Exactly. So the learners will listen to the teacher.
Yes.
Once you believe in your learners, then they will confide in you. They will believe in you. And then they're like, this thing is actually not that bad. It's actually not that hard. And that is how I could change the mentality of my students, that STEM is also meant for you. It's not only male-dominated field. You are also included. They started performing better, at least coming from E to D minus. That's an improvement. From E to D minus, even 1% is a very big achievement for them.
Sure it is.
Yes. And we moved now the KCSE mean grades performing. We are producing one of the top students in Northeastern Province, in Umusalama girls. Yeah, the mean grade are going up. And that's because of the teamwork. All mathematics teachers, we came together and we were like, we cannot allow this. Because this is the image you are showing to our learners. If you show to them that this is not what you can do, then that means they cannot do that. Yeah, so they will look at you.
So it's all about mentality.
It's about changing the mentality, giving confidence. Because outside they're already tortured. Outside they are told that you are a student in this society, you cannot fail. You are a boy child, you cannot fail. You are a girl, why do you have to study STEM? I mean, later you will end up, getting married or...
For our viewers, can you clarify the word STEM? What do you mean?
STEM means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Mathematics.
Yes, exactly. So when I say STEM, I mean science, mathematics, technology, engineering, such stuffs.
There is an important aspect I want to discuss with you, since you're a teacher. Us, when we were studying, the lot before us, maybe 3-4 years, we didn't have a lot of gadgets. We didn't have a lot of technology, a lot of these platforms. But nowadays there is a challenge whereby everyone has a smartphone, including the 8-year-old
kid at home, the 6-year.
Yeah. And then you find a lot of people using most of their time, instead of utilizing it in studies and the beneficial activities. Someone scrolls 7 hours in TikTok, Facebook, or other social media platforms. How did that affect education?
Okay. As much as we are our students' second parent, but their upbringing usually is mostly affected back home by their parents. And that is why parent involvement is very crucial in school. Yeah, we should be having that community where we have to engage parents in school meetings and tell them issues like this. So, the way you said, a learner can be affected negatively by social media a lot, especially for these youngers who are growing up now at the adolescent age, the ones who are in between 12 to 18 years.
Because the reason why I'm saying so, it has that not even our learners, even us grown-ups,
yes,
it has affected our attention span. Someone cannot, after this interview, someone cannot watch this interview for 1 hour. He rather goes like this, and the attention span is so little.
Yes.
So it also affects the studies, because if you want to study, you need to put some hours because you cannot study for 2 minutes and then close the book. And so how did that affect the performance of the student?
Yeah, so just like you said, the reason why our attention span is not that long, because most of our learners are when they are on social media, they usually engage on reels, TikTok reels, Instagram reels, and the system is it only gives a maximum of 30 seconds. So a student or any other person, even grown-ups, scrolls, stays for 30 seconds, scrolls again to another different video, 30 seconds again, scroll, until now the body system adapts to that. So they cannot sit somewhere and listen to a lecture video of 1 hour because the attention inapotea kabisa. Even as grown-ups, you are a victim of that. In the classroom now, you start teaching, and then they give you full attention because you are trained to take attention from learners. You captured. But you realized after some few seconds, moja melala, mwingine is physically in class, but the brain is very, very far. And once you know where the problem is coming from, you can solve it.
Yes.
So just advise them to reduce the consumption of social media. Involve the parents and tell them to take away the phones from kids. If it's not academically, just let them. We have learned without phones, and we were just okay.
But this generation does not know that.
Does not know that, and the thing is, once this is a kid.
I mean, nowadays, if you snatch a phone from a kid, he maybe thinks you're torturing him. Him or her, actually. It's
fine. Then, since we cannot eliminate totally phones from the children, then you have to be there to supervise. What does it mean leaving the phone to a child who's 15 years? You remember when you give phone to someone, that person is all over the world at the same time, physically sitting at one position. Do you know that? Meaning they are easily attacked by very sensitive things going on around the world. Their confidence, their ego, the way they see themselves change because they're comparing their lives with people they see around. And all that is coming to affect their academic journey. So the parents at first should, allow your kid 2 to 3 hours maximum during the day to have that digital device with them. But at the same time, supervise what they are watching, supervise what they are posting, supervise their friends.
But then we have a problem in Nairobi. I've not seen it in Garissa. Maybe it has not come to the limelight. But we have seen all these videos, kids playing on the roads.
Yes.
Also, there is a kid which was harassing. The one which was knocked by a bus. Recently, there was a one who was harassing other, and these are teenagers actually. I've seen their faces. They have not even attained the age of 20. I mean, that is how social media corrupts. These kids.
Exactly.
So, I believe the institution should put much weight on campaigning and giving mass awareness that these things are harmful.
Have to be stopped. Exactly.
At the same time, I believe they can use it positively because this is an era of technology. This is an era whereby, as we didn't get to maybe use emails, we just learned this recently. There is ChatGPT. You will get information in a fraction of a second. There is all this Grok, Gemini, all these platforms. And I believe also they can use it so wisely.
So positively.
They can be ahead. So, Nasra, Salama High School is a female. It's not a mixed. It's a girls' school. That's the word. Which has more challenge, teaching both girls and boys, or teaching only girls? Which has more challenge to you? Because I believe in the university also it is mixed and you're teaching both genders.
At the university level, I'm teaching both boys and girls, but I have taken most of my time teaching girls. And we do not have favorites between boys and girls, but when we talk about challenges, of course, teaching girls is very much challenging compared to boys.
How?
Because girls are sensitive beings, even to start with. They are emotionally sensitive. And even though we are improving, women are not, or let's talk about girls, we are not like held high compared to men. Yeah, in very different fields. A girl can come to school, listen to you, look at you for 40 minutes, but has actually not captured anything. Not because that child is slow, but because they are not there. The brain is somewhere very far. They, you know, we see so many cases at schools.
Yeah.
A student is burnt out. Mtoto anatoka shule, anaenda nyumbani, the whole evening she's busy working. The whole evening she's taking care of kids, kusafisha vyombo, helping around the house. So that moment the child is supposed to do homework and revisit all the content she has studied in classroom. The student is tired, and alala, and asubuhi she comes and then homework is not done. So you have to deal with that. That's the first thing. Emotional instability, you know, because we are very sensitive when it comes to emotions, a child will come to you and then be open and tell you all the challenges she's going through and how maybe she's seeing life differently currently, because that's biology anyway. Yeah. When it comes to emotions, we are very, very weak.
But on the contrary, I believe nowadays girls are outperforming boys.
They are outperforming, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
On the contrary. And a lot of the boy child believe that much of attention is given to girls. Because, I mean, since we came into this age, we are normally seeing girls' empowerment. A lot of focus is in girls.
Yes.
All the government prioritizes girls. Even the offices nowadays, must be a gender equality. Some believe that the boy child is being forgotten.
Neglected.
Yeah, is being neglected actually.
Yeah.
And how do you see that? Because girls, they do have much better advantage, and they're really performing well. I remember during our time in KCC, I was a student in Nara, and the best performing student was a girl.
Was a girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Even recently, I was seeing a girl who was a best performer. I think she's from Salman. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So that field is a bit sensitive to people. Once we start talking about equality, so many people are usually, you know, taken to the wrong side.
Yes.
The aim was not to outperform boys. That was not the aim. Remember, many years, 15 years ago, women were not, we were not in so many fields that we are currently in. 15 years ago, the number of female students who were in schools were generally low.
Yes.
Yeah. When we talk about opportunities and fields, we were not, you know, taken that much seriously.
What about now?
Now, we can see that the number of enrollment of girls is even more than boys.
Yeah.
That is what we are fighting for.
So you want that?
We want women generally to be given equal priority, equal power, equal opportunities to the other counterparts. The aim is not to outperform the other gender. And that is where everyone now, when they hear this, they'll be like, she's a feminist. You are a feminist. You know, the term feminist has been taken to a wrong direction. Yeah, feminism doesn't mean that we hate men. It doesn't mean that we do not follow religion and culture. It doesn't mean that we want to replace men. We are simply asking, just give us the opportunity that you are giving men. Also give us the same opportunity. Yeah, we are not fighting to be the leaders of men. That is not going to happen, because we know that we can exist harmoniously. Yeah. So once we take that term feminism to extremist, when we take the extremist version of feminism, that is why everybody runs away.
Yeah.
If I simply say that let's increase the number of students, female students in education, I'm a feminist, but it's not the other version that usually people think that we hate men. We do not hate men. Yeah, the men are our fathers, our brothers, and everyone.
You are advocating for the rights of the girls.
That is what we are trying to do.
Okay. And I believe this is the question to ask you, because you are the right person. And you are here in Garissa, the northern part of Kenya. How is the reading culture here? Do people read, whether novels, magazines, books, syllabus or out of syllabus? Do our students do read?
Okay, when you talk about comprehension and literacy, it usually starts from early ages. A student in kindergarten here in northeastern Kenya, when you go to a grade 3 class, 90% of the learners don't have the basic simple literary skills. Yeah, you have seen, especially when you go to public schools. Yeah, most of the kids there cannot read a simple basic English line or Swahili even. Yeah, and these are the same kids who will later grow up, and that will affect them in so many other fields. Because if you have a problem in comprehending or understanding, remember all the contents are taught in English and Swahili, right? But this kid does not even understand. So inaanzia there, down there. So these are the same kids, they will grow later, yeah, and they will realize that I have neglected my literacy skills when I was very young. So now what can I do? We are the same teachers where we are teaching the Form 1s, okay, the previous Form 1s. When they come, English teachers have to go back and teach the students how to handwrite, how to not mix capital letters and small letters. Yeah, because they have not been taught when they were in grade 3. So that's one of the problems that we are facing.
So you believe people don't read here?
We are improving, but compared to the other fraction of the country, no.
And what steps can we take to make sure we are a society who reads? You see, the faster you learn is the faster you earn. Because we have a lot of knowledge in books.
Yeah.
Whether spiritual books, those are religion books, or secular books, fictions, everything. Because if a society does not read, I mean, that is a dead society.
Exactly.
So what can we do to make sure we increase and enhance our reading culture? Your opinion?
I have several opinions.
Yes.
The way you have said, a society which is educated it cannot be easily ignored.
Yeah.
Yeah. If a society can produce educators, can produce journalists, can produce policy experts, yeah, that is a society that has already grown and developed.
Yes.
And that usually starts from, first of all, giving enough training to teachers. If I give an example now, there's a transition of grade 10 students to senior schools.
Yeah.
Yeah. And teachers have to be trained in order to, understand how to transfer that skills to the learner. But how many teachers have undergone the retooling workshops? Very few. And for those who have undertaken the training, cannot confidently stand and say that I have mastered this skill myself to impact it to the learners. So it starts from training the teachers. Do they have enough training? And did the government provide enough resource? Like, for example, a teacher who is in rural areas, when retooling is happening in Garissa, that teacher will be unable to come and take part in the workshop because lack of infrastructure. Mtu ako mbali sana kwa kichakani. By the time atoke pale akuje to take the training, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of work. So giving the teachers enough training, that's the first thing that has to be done. And also providing enough remember, children have different pathways in which they can learn.
Yeah.
If I tell a child who is 5 years maybe to only learn from a textbook, there are children who learn only through visuals. There are others who will learn when the teacher is explaining only. There's a child who will learn from textbooks. Yeah. So once you provide all those methods, all those teaching methods to the learners, and every learner is able to gain the skills and understand the concept in their own way, at their own pace, yeah, they will be confident enough to say that I have already mastered this skill that I'm supposed to be having.
Also, there is an issue we need to emphasize about learning. I mean, public speaking. I mean, if you see our students from northern parts, you cannot compare to the other part of the country, because you find they are more confident, they are more outspoken, they are vociferous in some way. What can we do to ensure they get these skills of speaking publicly, giving out their views, all their opinions, all their sentiments without fear, without intimidation, without getting hard time to explain themselves? How can we ensure that?
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we answer that, we have to know where the problem is coming from.
Yes.
Why is this learner not confident enough to stand in front of a class and do a presentation?
Yeah.
Most of the students, especially girls, are shy. And that shyness has been impacted on them. It's not like they have grown being shy. The society says that, especially when we were young, we were told that we should be shy in front of men. And especially when you go to the religious centers, when in our Duksi time, mtu akisoma Quran in front of the sheikh, we used to cover our mouth, we used to cover our faces, and and it used to be like crazy. I mean, like, why are we hiding our faces? This sheikh wants to hear how we have memorized the Quran and how better we know it. So why are we like holding our mouth when you're doing that? And then it came to me that it is what the society tells us. Yeah, you come in front of a man, go to he's coming from the right side, go to the left side. Yeah, that shyness has been instilled to us by the society. So when you are in a classroom, especially a classroom where we have both boys and girls in one class, telling us an average student to come and present something in front of the class on Ogopa. So I would say that problem comes from society, okay? But the thing is, that is why we are teachers. That's why we are educators, because we want to take learners before the syllabus. Know your students before the syllabus. If you know that your learners are very shy and then you just let it be, they will not grow. But when they see that the confidence is in you, the teacher, they will say, like, if she can stand in front of us and talk to us like this, if she can stand in a whole assembly and address 500 students, 1,200 students, then why not us? If she can raise her voice and her voice can be heard in different rooms, then why are we different? So usually when the lessons are going on and you see that there is a specific topic that every student knows and they are confident in that part of the lesson, usually pick one person. Tell them that you know this content better than the others. Come in front and help us know. Let them see that others can learn from them. Yeah, slowly by slowly. Another day, maybe we hold a debate session or public speaking session, and then you pick those students, especially those who are vulnerable, those who are very shy in the classroom. Pick them, give them a small training on how they can be confident, and then remember they learn from you. So step by step, they find that it was in our brains. It was not something real. Yeah.
In your journey, do you want to still teach, or you are thinking about other professions? I mean, what are your goals in the next maybe 5 to 10 years?
I don't think I'll be leaving education.
This is your calling.
It is. I was called here. I'm not leaving. I might be in different institutions, but my purpose in life is to educate. My purpose in life is to transform lives. That is where I am, and that is what I have accepted so many years ago.
In your opinion, there is a growing population. Do we have enough schools to cater the need of this growing population in Garissa?
Okay. So when we talk about Garissa, as you said, the population is increasing.
Yeah.
Compared to the previous years.
Yeah.
And with the increase in the population, there is if we approximate, we can say that there are almost close to 300 ECDE centers. About the primary schools, they are around 200, and there are around 40 secondary schools or senior secondary schools, according to the recent data. But if you look at that data, someone can say that it is improving. We are actually improving. But the thing is, most of the schools are centered around the towns. But the rural parts of Garissa County, yeah, the children there are suffering.
Yeah.
Because we have a nomadic lifestyle. And, down there, the rural side, people usually migrate from one place to another in search of pasture. And the distance between the homes and the schools are very, very big. So this learner has to cover a very large kilometer to go to school. The schools are they are widely spread. Insufficient teachers, and not many teachers are available.
Yeah.
So there is this record that says that there are some schools in the rural areas that students are still learning under trees.
Yeah, but I wanted to ask that topic because it is a burgeoning topic, and the way it is proliferated, I mean, that is the topic of the week in the country. Do you think that there are some students who still study under tree?
Yes, there are some reports that show that schools are overpopulated in such a way that some students don't have classrooms.
Yeah.
Or there used to be enough classrooms, but they're all destroyed by floods, maybe, or they were poorly constructed even before. And now a fraction of the school students are learning under the trees. Learning under the trees is not a big issue, because even in Umusalama, when the temperatures go very high, the learners themselves say that, situtoke nje, let's sit down the tree at least so that we can have a cold environment for us to learn. But the problem comes if these students do not have actually classes to learning. Yeah, the classes are destroyed. They are overpopulated, especially when you go to schools in, for example, down there in Galmagala and Jarirot. They are Kenyans. These children are Kenyans. But you will find there's only one school in a whole region. Yeah. And all the children come there to study. They are poorly constructed at the same time, very, very few. So yes, we still have that problem.
Do you believe our leaders from Northern Frontier or North Kenya, do you believe they are not doing enough to support the education system in these counties?
Our leaders are not influential And that is where the problem is coming from. When we talk about northeastern Kenya, everyone knows that we are being politically sidelined.
Yeah.
We call ourselves marginalized. But the problem is it the government that made us marginalized? No, it is our own leaders. Remember, power and politics comes from how loud can this person be? How strong can they negotiate on our behalf to give us our rights?
What about if they are loud and the government is not giving them an ear?
That can also be a reason, but will the solution be us sitting behind and say that we are marginalized and the government is not helping? We are supposed to provide and present data that actually we are being sidelined and we need help. Whatever that our politicians are doing is just talking. Yeah, position is not equal to influence. We have MPs, governors, and senators in offices, but the power that they have is insignificant. Yeah, we need leaders who can actually take our issues and push it to the national agenda. We need leaders who will talk to the powerful people in government, make them listen and make them act. We need leaders who will pressurize the government and negotiate on our behalf for resource allocation. If a leader cannot do all that, they are powerless. They have positions, but they are powerless.
As someone may argue, what about the resources you have been allocated? How are you using those resources?
That is the
There
question.
are these allegations whereby we're taking these resources from this county and taking it to the capital city, and we're trying to build big mansionettes and big flats instead of impacting the education here. How do you see, what is your weight on that particular topic? Is it a real thing which is happening, or is just an agenda which is agending?
Okay, there is this recent statement by Rigathi Gachagua.
Yeah, the former deputy president.
Yes, he implies that since devolution, Northeastern has received more than 1 trillion shillings.
Yeah.
And there is a question, where did that fund go? Where did the money go? Yeah, we all know Kenya since devolution has 47 counties. Each county has its own budget. So the budget that comes to Northeastern, that comes to Garissa, Wajir and Marsabit, where does it go? That is the question. Can we say that it is being corrupted and people are taking and putting it in their pockets? Yes and no. This money is being channeled in the wrong way. Yeah. For example, when you ask the leaders where is the money going, they will tell you that we have constructed roads, we have constructed boreholes, we are educating our kids.
Are they evident?
Is there an evidence? That is the question. Now, are they talking about the same roads that are being washed away after 3 months after they are being constructed? Are we talking about the same boreholes that are constructed and after its launch, it does not function? Are we talking about the classrooms in the rural areas? You have built classrooms, but they are not teachers. You have not employed teachers. Yeah, money is there, but the way we are channeling it is the problem. Yeah, we do not have, we lack effectiveness. There is inefficiency, and the priority, we do not know where to place the priority. What is our first priority? Is our priority building mansions? Are we building offices and buying modern equipment, and there are schools that the students are learning outside under a tree? Yeah. So we should understand how to channel these funds to the right way, and that is why I say it is very important to educate people. Yeah, we should be using education as a weapon.
But we should not only educate them. We should emphasize on being ethical. I mean, all these people who are doing so, they are well educated,
exactly,
but there is no ethics. I mean, we should also prioritize teaching our students being ethical, having integrity, being someone who is reliable, being someone who is straightforward, being someone who is vision driven, and he has a future for this society. I think education alone is not enough.
Exactly. Now, education doesn't mean academics only and what we have learned in the classrooms from the books only.
Yeah.
Education is more than that. It is equality, it is equity. Education is more of critical thinking, it's about teamwork, it's about citizenship. It's about knowing the rights that we have. And when I say it's important for us to educate our people, it's because once the citizen know that this is our rights, we can demand our rights by ourselves. Yeah, we know that this person who's vying for this position is ours. This is our person. We will give you our election. We will give you our votes. But we also want you to work. We want you to deliver. And if you don't, then we will hold you accountable.
Do you believe the society, do they hold maybe the electorates, I mean, do you believe the society, after 5 years, do they hold accountable the people whom they have elected, or is it just a tribal matter?
The problem that we are going, one of the major problems that we are facing currently is tribalism. And there's another problem which we are facing, fragmentation. Instead of us coming together as one bargaining voice and knowing that this is the problem we are facing and let's solve it, we are busy forming multiple parties and competing against each other. This clan is competing against this clan. Yeah? Wewe ni mtu wetu, tutakupatia kura. Not because you are going to serve, but because you are ours. And that's the problem. There is no accountability. And once this leader knows that these are my people, and they will do anything for me, accountability dies at that moment. But if we learn and be serious on who are we electing, yeah, so many things can change. Unfortunately, tribalism is there. If there is one thing that I would really, really wish for my Somali people, is to eradicate something known as tribalism out of their mind. People are given opportunities because they are known. Students are given bursaries because their surnames are known. Yeah. When you go to an interview, you will be interviewed. You will go through all the interview process, but at the end of the day, we know who will be given that work. Yeah. The shocking thing is everyone knows that this is the problem that we are facing, but we are not solving it.
So the solution to our problems is that we should elect the right leaders. We should hold them accountable. We should make sure we don't even wait for the 5 years to end.
Yes.
We should do something when we see there is something.
Exactly.
As we wind up, what are some of your advices to those students who are coming up, who are maybe looking up to you? What is your advice? What do you want them to focus on? And what do you want them to be in the society as we wind up?
Education is one of the most important weapons you can have. Go get that degree, go study. Because everything else in your life can be snatched, but not education. Every single one of you who is outside has a certain dream that you are trying your best to achieve. And me, being an older person, can relate that your dream is achievable. The life that you want is there. It exists. It is possible, and you can win. In this technological world, you can educate yourself in so many ways. First of all, let's change our mindset. We should have an abundance mindset, not a scarcity mindset. You should grow up and know that the world needs you. You do not need the world. Everyone needs the skill that you have, the power that you have. Everyone is looking for it. So when you are venturing into this world full of opportunities, know that the power that you carry is able to transform lives. I also want to tell you that life outside there is not easy. You will suffer. But remember that there are some times that you feel you cannot move on in life. You are tired. There's pressure from everywhere. And your dreams are too big, such that when you think about it, you start feeling afraid. Just know that the fear that you're feeling is actually an indicator, a flag that tells you that you are at the peak of your growth. And whatever that's going to happen at that peak of your growth is actually upon you. Are you going to give in to the fear and say that I am not needed in this world? Or are you going to work for it despite your feelings? Regardless if you are tired, yeah, you are still supposed to go fight for yourself and look for a position in this world for yourself. When you tell your body or your mind especially that I am not sufficient, the more you repeat to yourself about a certain fear that you have, your body actually remembers it and makes it real. Yeah. So instead of focusing on unnecessary things, focus on growth, focus on your mental growth. Yeah. And know that everyone outside there is willing to help. If you see that your mental state is not that okay, go and look for support to your teachers, your friends, and everyone everyone outside there is willing to help. You are still young, and we are here actually to guide you. There are so many people like me outside there who are willing to guide you. Thank you.
How would they find you? Maybe if they want to look for you, are you able to give out your maybe social media, something like that? Or the location which they can find you?
Okay. I was also a victim of that. We are not supposed to be putting ourselves outside there. So currently I do not have any social media handle, but inshallah I'll be working on it and I'll be sharing it to people so that they can be able to reach me anytime they want.
That is a wonderful message. Thank you, Nasra Mohammed, for your time. We really appreciate your intakes. We really appreciate your puts, and we are looking forward to host you again and again. Thank you so much.
Appreciate.